Alright, another video. My third video in the last couple weeks, or a couple days actually. I'm starting to get bad at this point, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't know. You get to a point where like nothing is like real, you know. Allergies, I think allergies are fucking me up right now, but I don't know. I never know what's messing me up at any given time, dude. It's just all a guess, bro. It really is just all a guess. I'll lead off with saying I think I probably should have took anxiety medicine when offered to me, I guess almost a quarter of a year ago now. I got like just thrown the anxiety medicine in December by my doctor, who was a terrible doctor, didn't really recommend me to kind of give me the advice on taking anything like that, and I'd gotten, to this point because of taking medicine from other people that, not my actual doctor, but other people that, I wish I didn't take it. So I just got scared of medicine and, listen to other people, the internet, my family, all that stuff. I just was kind of like terrified to take it. But even with my issues, like I got like probably legitimate stomach issues at this point. Even with those, like I still wish I kind of took it just to see what would happen, By this point, I would already like been through the worst of it, and maybe something bad would have happened, but like I don't know. It's just like my therapist told me, the therapist I was seeing at the time, initially for social anxiety, but I kind of had this health anxiety come in, and he just kind of was like, I really can need to take some medication. Like we really can't get anywhere, because I really wasn't like. You just couldn't tell me I was healthy. I was going to the ER like every day, and like 2-3 times a week, and that didn't do much for me. I did a heart workup, and didn't do much for me, and I would just keep on making excuses for like why I don't want to take it, until I just was like, I don't think I need it. He's like, okay, I understand, but I can't really do much for you at this point, which I understood because. I mean, he told me the right things to try initially. We didn't get into CBT in vogue really because I just cratered so quickly. But he told me the right things to at least kind of start off with. And I couldn't listen. Like I just mentally couldn't listen. I tried. I don't know about the cry. It's just like my allergies are just so fucking bad right now, dude. I literally am like talking through my nose, I guess, or whatever it is. But I'm scared to take my allergy medicine because I'm taking this B12 stuff right now, and it's just like I think it's all the shit I read on Reddit, man. It's just been awful for me, dude. If I can say one thing, man, just like no matter how bad it is, just don't look stuff up on Reddit. Like it doesn't matter what you feel, man, symptoms wise, dude. I see people that have gone on Reddit, with symptoms, and some people, the problem is you gotta like pick where you're gonna be at. Are you gonna fully listen to these people that are just, feeding you whatever advice, if you're gonna do that, then do it. I mean, by all means. But if you're not gonna commit to that lifestyle, you don't have to do it, because advice without any kind of like results behind them just are fucking terrifying, horrifying, really. The advice they give there, dude, like with B12 stuff, man, I think it's just like rotting my brain, dude, because I've like looked through my blood work and all my stuff just kind of comes back more down, this down, that down, for vitamins and stuff like that. And my stomach, man, it's so fucking bad off. And it's like, what do I do? Like what's in my, like, if my fucking stomach, if my fucking body will not digest food, what the fuck do you do? And you get to the supplements at that point, because the fucking medicine, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't even have my GI fucking doctor. Just basically was a mean. I got onto a GI doctor, just pretty much a means to get to an endoscopy, and I got scared of doing it without like somebody that was close with me there. So like I put off basically what's now going to be about a month. Next Friday. Dude, I don't know if I'm going to be here next Friday. Like, I mean, I don't intend on doing anything to myself, but like, just with all this shit, man, like the B12 shit, like I'm shit. But okay, so the reason I took these results to my doctor is because I was shaking OD, I was freezing cold, hands and feet, like just anything that felt like anemia, basically. And my ferritin, I took it February 25th. And I know labs prepare these things differently. It's like 57. I took it again last week, March 20th, around that time, 28. And I know like serum tests, blah blah blah. Like maybe it's just elevated in the first test, but like, dude, it's fucking halved in like a week, or like not a week, but like a month. I've been eating fortified cereal and all that shit, so I'm getting some iron in, but I'm trying to take care of my potassium and all that. Basically, all I do at this point is just try to make my vitamin, my macros. But I'm still not even getting enough fucking food, like actually like calories, because I like lost so much weight with all this, So I'm sure I'm not getting like enough protein or anything like that. But like, if you like, looking into all these vitamins and shit, you're like, I don't want to go over on that. I don't want to go over on that. So, and then you like look at certain food. I'm too fucking scared to like just go in my crib and like cook some shit up, because I'm like just constantly on the run at this point. Just trying to go somewhere to be outside the house in case something happens. And then in case something happens, mindset, dude, it just catches up to you in very bad ways, man. I haven't been to the ER in a couple weeks actually. And the last time I went, really, I didn't. It was just like I got so fucking just like horrified with all the shit that's been happening, like just like the shaking and the just cold, and I couldn't sleep an entire night. It was an entire night I couldn't sleep. I just went in there. I was like, fuck it, I can't do this. I just wanted to get checked out. Maybe all the blood work they've been doing, maybe that's in part, kind of leading to the anemia. Maybe I would have had higher stores if I wasn't, getting blood work done so often throughout the months. But, your blood work is not a significantly high amount of, like iron, I guess, put into that if you are able to create blood cells. And my hemoglobin is going down like basically every test. My iron total. I mean, it's like some of that stuff I haven't tested that often. Like iron, I've only tested like twice since all this stuff is happening. But hemoglobin's on your CMPs and all that stuff, CBCs, and I've done those OD because of all the ER visits. They don't test for vitamins for whatever reason, but they'll test for stuff like that. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't really know what to do at this point. The B12 supplement, man. Again, you read the Reddit post, dude. I've been concerned about like low potassium and stuff like that, and all these things, and I guess trigger warning. At this point, like, you can just turn the video off if you want to, but just a brief like discussion of some possibilities, some shit like that, but you can leave right now if you want to. But yeah, to me, man, it's just the fact that like all these coulds and shoulds and take care of this, take care of that. Like I'm getting more supplements or more nutrients from food than I may have ever gotten in my life, but I'm eating less, and I just feel worse. My anxiety gets worse, and my speaking, all that shit gets worse, and it's just like all these things are not improving while taking the steps to try to get better. It just sucks. I mean, really, just I do my absolute best as I can. I have to just keep this whole fucking nonsense going, like job and being dolo out here and it's a town with nobody. I got no family or friends in really. Got a job that just causes me so much stress, and I just deal with this shit like by myself, for the most part. So it's like I just got to do this, shit to make money to keep insurance, all that stuff. I mean, if you didn't have to deal with insurance, like, maybe I'd be alright. I could just drop all this shit, go back home, get some, shitty minimum wage job, but be around people that give a fuck about you, and check in on you and shit like that. That's the biggest thing, man. Just to go through all this shit with no like clue on like if anything ever happened, like who would look out for me, I could tell you like for a fact, like if I disappear tomorrow, like nobody in this town will like give a fuck about me, and that's maybe a couple people I work with, they'll kind of the customary, like, oh, I can't believe that happened, but like it just sucks, man, to not have anybody that like cares if you like, if you're there. I had a few people that kind of gave a fuck about me, but like some bullshit drama occurred. This, I don't know, stuff that was out of my control, that I really had no input on, but lies happen and there's nothing you can do about it. Some people take one side or the other, and my side wasn't taken. So it just goes to show you, man. I mean, like all this shit can just fall down on you in a heartbeat, and there's nothing you can really do about it, man. I spent all these thousands of dollars on this test and that test, and I feel worse than I did 2-3 months ago. So it's tough, dude. I should have got a GI doctor a long fucking time ago, man, but my fucking doctor just didn't think I needed one, and only my original doctor, is fucking 4 months into like this horrible atrocity going on in my stomach, and I can't even fucking, just catching the fall of the knife is, kind of late in the, I mean, I won't say late in the game, I don't know, I can't predict the future or anything like that, but like, it's just like to be this down bad, at least I used to be the way it was, man. And you kind of, if you get worse, you obviously like feel a little bit more rosy and nostalgic about like if you had a bad time, a few months ago, you still feel better about that bad time. At least with that, man, I could go walking whenever I wanted to. I still feel like shit, but I could do it. I played basketball for a little bit. I felt like shit, but I could do it. I don't know if I can like exercise at this point, dude. Like I go out there and do anything, and I'm like I don't know, my heart rate goes up, more than it should, and all that. It's probably just not me condition worth the fuck, but I don't feel comfortable doing anything, like, I stayed at home by myself, but, I'd stay at the home by myself when I was down back home, knowing that, eventually my family would come through, so all I gotta do is kill maybe about 4 or 5 hours and then be there, so got that faith that, somebody's coming for you, I also had other family in the town and shit like that, so that helped a lot, but, to be here 3 hours away from any family, 4 hours really, I don't even feel like I can drive home, I feel like if I drove home right now, like, how dizzy I get and all that shit, how tense I get and all that, I don't know how far I'd make it, I really don't. It's a bad spot to be in, man. Just my sense of, I think my new therapist I started with this week was just like, your eternal sense of security is just not, like, there's nothing there. And that's, I mean, she's right, dude. I'm sitting in a, fucking parking lot in like a municipal park type of place. Just kind of sitting here chilling because I'm scared to death to be like, to be in my house by myself, I just feel terrified to do that shit. And it's just more than anything, like if something happens, I just want to be, somebody can see me, My neighbors, like, fucking, just kind of like wave and keep on going type of relationship. So I don't know anybody, man. I don't know anybody. And it's horrifying stuff. It really just, like, it just crushes your heart, really. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I don't give a fuck. I don't know what to do. I got no clue. Tomorrow I get tested for copper and zinc. I'm probably come back to fishing and that shit because I'm deficient in everything. Really, the only hope is I can make it. Tomorrow be Friday, so I can. If I can make it 7 days, I get there. I'm scared about the endoscopy, but I got no choice at this point. I got to see what's up. I mean, hopefully it's nothing, because if it's nothing, then, I mean, you can look at everything in a different light. Maybe it wasn't absorption problems. It was just fucking just not eating enough, which, you know, I feel like I've eaten more than enough, but I know it's going to be something because I just been so ran ragged by my stomach, you know, so I know it's going to be something. It may not be anything, you know, terrible, but, you know, I don't know. I got no clue what'll come back, man. But I think the answer, I need the answer at this point. Like, there's got to be some conclusion, you know. And my hospitals, like, even the local ER around me is like ass. Like, it's, you know, I appreciate, you know, them not like turning me away by this point. You know, I've been there so many times, but like, there's like a world-class ER like fucking 2 hours away from me, but like, I don't trust myself to drive there, you know. And you know, even if I do, like, what am I to, you know, hey, I feel like shit, you know, like my B12's low. I think you guys want to keep me overnight? Like, do you want to just drive 2 hours back, you know, in the middle of the night, 7, 8, 9 a.m. at this point? If I drove there right now, I'd get there around 12:30. Then what? What do I do at that point? Fucking choking on something right now. I don't know. This just was just me getting shit off my chest, really, more than anything. There's people who, like, you know, smoke dope, inject, fucking do like press pills, like just the worst you can think of, and like they feel more comfortable with their body than like I do with mine. All I got, you know, all I had was one pill or one medicine exacerbated my stomach issue. I just, you know,